Welcome students. This video belongs to class 8 students. Subject History. We are going to revise lesson 8, The Great Revolt of 1857. Through various methods of annexation and the harsh economic policies, the British established their colonial domination over a major part of India by 1856. The discontent among different sections of Indian society often broke out in the form of the revolts against the British and their supporters, mainly the new class of zamindars and the moneylenders. So, my dear students, these are some of the contents that I'm going to explain in this video. Introduction, which I have already given. Causes of the revolt, outbreak of the revolt, why the revolt failed, nature of the revolt, and the results of the revolt. Among those who basically rose in revolt were chiefs and the landlords humiliated by the British, and peasants, artisans, and the tribal people who were displaced from their land and robbed of their livelihood. There were many factors that led to the revolt of 1857. And the causes of revolt were political causes, social and religious causes, economic causes, military causes, and immediate causes. Let's start with the political causes. Displacement of many rulers and landowners, annexation of territories based on the subsidiary alliance and the doctrine of the lapse. These are the certain important factors which led to the political causes. The simmering discontent against the British, which led to the Great Revolt of 1857. This revolt basically shook the British rule in India to its foundations. There are very factors. One of the factors which I have started, that is the political causes. The British land revenue policies have angered many chiefs and landlords by robbing them of their powers and the privileges. Some landlords of Aligarh, Travancore, they have organized the localized revolts even before 1857. Second cause, social and religious causes. The British introduced several reforms such as the legislation of the widow remarriage to improve the condition of the women. This alarmed the Orthodox Indians. Caste norms were violated when people of different castes were thrown together in the army, prisons, and railway coaches. The upper caste felt that the new judicial system denied them their traditional privileges. The third cause is economic causes. The economic policies of the British has caused widespread distress under the new land revenue settlements. Many zamindars lost their lands. Peasants were made poorer by higher rates of taxes and the rigid collection. The British policies ruined Indian handicraft industries and agriculture. Famines became a regular feature. The fourth cause is military cause. The rising discontent in the country was reflected in the behavior of the sepoys, who formed 7/8 of the British troops in India. The sepoys were discontented because their salaries and opportunities of promotion were not equal to those of the British soldiers. Even the special allowance that was given to them when they were sent to war was discontinued. The last cause was immediate cause. In 1856, the Enfield rifle was introduced in the company's army. The cartridges which is used in this rifle has a grease cap which had to be bitten off before use. The Hindu and Muslim sepoys were alarmed because they believed that the grease was made from the fat of cows and pigs, which their respective religions forbade them to eat. This news spread like a wildfire. In some places, sepoys refused to use cartridges. Outbreak of the revolt. In 29th March 1857, Mangal Pandey, a sepoy stationed at Barakpur, called upon his fellow sepoys to revolt against the use of the new cartridge. He was arrested and on 8th April he was hanged. A month after his execution, some sepoys in Meerut refused to use the new rifle. They were sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. This sparked off the revolt, which started at Delhi and ended at the Mughal Empire. There were other centers of the revolt, that is Kanpur, Lucknow, Ara, Bareilly, Jhansi, and Gwalior. Why the revolt failed? There are different factors which led to the failure of the revolt. The British had a great support of the strong government in England. Besides, their administrative centers in India were well connected by railways, roads, and telegraph lines. The British also had able generals and superior military techniques. In contrast, the Indian military techniques were outdated. The rebel leaders lacked experience and coordination, and they failed to consolidate their gains. Moreover, the rebels got almost no support from the British strongholds of Bengal, Bombay, and Madras, where the British took all possible precautions to keep the rebels in check. In Calcutta, for example, a regiment of armed guards was formed and given full authority to open fire on people, even suspected of rebellious activity. And in Madras, people who suspected of spreading the message of rebellion were arrested and deported to the Andaman Islands. The rulers of many princely states remained aloof. And some rulers like Scindia of Gwalior, the Nizam of Hyderabad, the ruler of Nepal, some Rajput princes, the rulers of Patiala, Nabha, and Kashmir, helped the British in suppressing the revolt. Another weakness of the revolt was the aloofness of the Western educated Indians who probably regarded British rule as a necessity for India's modernization. The nature of revolt, the revolt of 1857 was called the Sepoy Mutiny by the British authorities, while Indian historians call it the First War of Independence. The revolt began with the mutiny of the sepoys but was soon transformed into a popular revolt when people from different sections of the society spontaneously joined in. This is evident from the fact that out of the estimated 150,000 people killed in the revolt, 1 lakh were civilians. Although the concept of loyalty towards the country had not yet developed in India. The Indians did unite under Bahadur Shah Zafar for a short while to win the freedom from foreign rule. This supports the argument that the revolt was indeed a war of independence. Results of the revolt. The Queen's Proclamation in 1858 has announced the end of the company's rule in India. The British Crown began to rule India directly through the Secretary of State. The Governor General, a representative of the company, became a representative of the Crown and was henceforth called the Viceroy. The British took steps to win the loyalty of the Orthodox Indians and the landowners. The policy of divide and rule was followed to prevent the Indians from uniting. The army was reorganized so as to keep it well under British control. Thank you and have a nice day.